Welcome to this video. If you are learning English, this message is for you. Many learners try to speak English, but their mind is still thinking in their first language. That makes speaking slow, hard, and sometimes scary. But what if you start thinking in English, just like you're talking to a real person? Imagine there's someone in front of you, a friend, a teacher, or even yourself, and you're just having a small, simple talk. No pressure, no perfect grammar, just real words, real thoughts, in real time. This way, you don't wait to translate. You speak faster, more natural, more confident. In this video, I'll show you how to practice this simple idea. You will learn how to train your mind, step by step, to think in English like you're speaking to someone. This can change your English learning forever. Let's begin this journey together. Section 1. Why you must think in English like you speak to someone. Let me ask you something. When you speak English, do you first think in your own language and then translate it into English? Many learners do this. And that is why speaking English feels slow, confusing, and difficult. Your brain has to do two jobs: think in your own language, then change it into English. This takes time, and this also takes energy. That is why your mouth knows what to say, but your brain says, "Wait, let me find the English word." And by that time, the moment is gone. But there is a better way. You can think in English. Yes, your brain can start thinking in English. Not just when you speak to someone, but even when you are alone. The secret is simple. Think in English like you are speaking to someone. Imagine a person in front of you, maybe your friend, maybe your teacher, maybe just a kind person who is listening. Now start talking in your mind. Use easy words, use short sentences, make small talks in your head. This is how children learn to speak. They listen, they copy, they speak to others, and they do it again and again. They don't think about grammar rules. They don't think, "Is this correct?" They just talk, and slowly their brain starts working in that language. You can do the same. You don't need to wait for perfect grammar. You don't need to speak big words. You need to speak simple English in your head, like talking to someone. Let me give you an example. You wake up in the morning. Your brain starts saying, "I need to brush my teeth." Say that in English in your head. "I am going to the bathroom. I am picking up my toothbrush. I am brushing my teeth." These are simple things, but these are English thoughts. You are not waiting for someone to ask. You are not studying from a book. You are thinking in English like speaking to someone. This is how you build fluency, not just by reading, not just by writing, but by practicing thinking. And not just any thinking. Thinking as if you are speaking to a real person. When you do this, your brain becomes faster. Your words come more easily. Your confidence becomes stronger. You feel more ready to speak in real life. At first, this may feel strange. You may say, "But there is no one in front of me." That's okay. This is just practice. The brain is like a muscle. You train it. You give it the right work, and it becomes strong. You are training your brain to use English like your first language. That is why this works. Also, don't worry if your English is not perfect. Mistakes are part of the process. When you think in English, you will make mistakes, but you will also correct yourself. You will learn, and you will grow. Over time, your thoughts become clear. Your sentences become better. Your voice becomes confident. You can do this anywhere. While walking, while waiting, while cooking. Just start a small talk in your mind. I am walking to the shop. The weather is hot today. I see a dog on the street. Simple, easy, real. These small thoughts are your training. These small thoughts are your practice. Also, talk about your feelings. I feel happy today. I feel tired now. I miss my family. These are real thoughts. These are human thoughts. And this is real English. When you start thinking like this, you are no longer translating. You are now living in English. This is the real power of language learning. So now you have the first step. The step is, start thinking in English like you are speaking to someone. Do this every day. Do this many times. Don't wait for the right time. Don't wait to become perfect. Just begin. Begin with simple words. Begin with real life. And begin with your own voice inside your head. In the next part, we will talk about how to grow this habit, how to make your mind stronger in English, and how to build a real system in your brain so you don't forget. Because this is not just practice. This is transformation. You are turning your brain into an English thinking machine. It is slow at first, but then it becomes natural. Why? Like breathing, like walking, like smiling. So remember, think in English. Not just study, not just listen, but think. Think like you are speaking. Think like someone is in front of you. This is how your English will grow, and this is how your fear will go. Section 2. How to build the habit of thinking in English, like speaking to someone. Now you understand the idea. Think in English like you are speaking to someone. But how do you do this every day? How do you make this a habit? In this part, we will talk about simple ways to build this habit step by step. It is not about doing everything at once. It is about doing small things every day that grow your English mind. First, start with short times. You don't need to think in English all day. You can start with just 5 minutes. Choose a time when you are alone. Maybe in the morning when you wake up. Maybe when you are walking to school or work. Maybe when you are washing the dishes. In those 5 minutes, speak in your mind. Use simple English. Describe what you see. Say what you feel. Ask small questions and answer them. Example. You wake up and say in your mind, "Good morning. I feel sleepy. The sun is shining. What will I do today? I will eat breakfast. I have work today." These are small, simple sentences, but this is powerful because now your brain is working in English. Second, give your mind a friend. This is not a real person. This is an imaginary friend in your head. This can be anyone you like. Maybe your teacher. Maybe your favorite actor. Maybe a kind stranger. Now speak to that person in your mind. Talk about your day. Share your feelings. Ask questions. Answer questions. This makes your thinking more real. It feels like a conversation. For example, you are walking home. You say in your mind, "Today was a good day." Then your imaginary friend says, "What did you do?" You answer, "I studied English. I learned 5 new words." Then they say, "That's great. Which words did you learn?" You reply, "I learned quickly, try, understand, before, and enough." See, you are having a full conversation in your head, and your brain is doing all this in English. Third, use your phone to help you. Turn your phone into a tool for thinking in English. Set your phone language to English. When you see your phone, your brain starts thinking in English. Also, use voice notes. Sometimes record yourself talking about your day. Just 30 seconds. Say something simple. Today I went to the market. I bought apples. I saw a dog. The weather was hot. Then listen. This helps your brain hear your own English. You don't need to share it with anyone. It's just for you. It's practice. It's real. Fourth, don't stop when you don't know a word. This is very important. Sometimes you want to say something in English, but you don't know the right word. What do? You don't stop. You don't give up. You try another way. You use other words. You describe it. Let's say you want to say, "I need a charger," but you forget the word charger. You can say, "I need the thing that gives power to my phone." That's okay. That's good. You are still thinking in English. This is how real people talk. They find ways. They use simple words. They keep going. Fifth, make it a game. Don't think of this as study. Think of it as a fun game in your head. Try to play it many times a day. Set small goals. For example, say, "Today I will speak 10 thoughts in English in my mind." Or, "Today I will talk to my imaginary friend for 5 minutes." Or, "Today I will try to describe 5 things I see around me in English." These are small games, but they help you stay excited. They help you stay active. Also, try this. Look at a photo or picture. Then talk about it in English in your mind. This is a photo of a family. They are smiling. The sun is shining. The girl is wearing a red dress. This is how your brain learns to talk about the world in English. You are training it to see and think in English just like native speakers. Sixth, don't judge yourself. This is very important. Many learners feel shy, even in their own minds. They think, "My English is not good. I am making mistakes." But remember, this is your private space. This is your safe place. No one is listening. No one is judging. So be free. Be bold. Say your thoughts. Use your voice in your head. The more you practice, the stronger you become. When babies learn to speak, they don't say perfect sentences. They try. They say 1 word, then 2 words, then full sentences. You are doing the same. You are learning like a child. Natural, simple, slow, but strong. Finally, keep a small diary in your head. At the end of each day, think about what happened. Say it in English. Today I was busy. I went to school. I met my friend. We laughed. I came home. I ate dinner. Now I feel sleepy. These are your daily thoughts. And when you think them in English, you are building your second language inside your brain. This is the power of thinking in English like you are speaking to someone. It becomes a part of your day. It becomes a part of your mind. Slowly, it becomes your habit. And when it becomes your habit, you will not need to force it. It will happen naturally. In the next part, we will go deeper. We will learn how this habit can help you speak better, listen better, and even feel better about your English. You will see how your thinking becomes your speaking, and how your small thoughts become big fluency. Section 3. How thinking in English like speaking to someone improves your real English skills. Now that you know how to build the habit of thinking in English like speaking to someone, let's see how this habit helps your real English. This lesson does more than make English easier in your head. It changes the way you speak, listen, and feel when using English. 1. Your speaking becomes faster and more natural. When you practice thinking one thought, then the next in English, your brain stops translating from your first language. You already have your words ready. So when you need to speak in real life, your words come more quickly. You don't hesitate. You don't slow down. Your sentences become smoother, like flowing water. This happens because your brain has trained itself to think in English first. You are no longer stopping to translate. This gives you real confidence, even when speaking to others. 2. Your listening improves too. When you think in English, you get used to thinking in simple sentences, real-life expressions, and everyday words. So when you listen to someone, like a teacher, a friend, or a video, you already know the kind of sentences they will use. You can understand more easily because your mind expects English in everyday form. It's like your brain is already in English mode, so when real English arrives, it fits right in. You don't need to pause, rewind, or ask the speaker to slow down as often. 3. Your vocabulary grows naturally. Thinking in English helps you notice missing words. When you try to name something, ask a question, or describe a feeling, sometimes the word escapes you. But because you are thinking, you search for that word. You look it up later. Or the word comes later by listening or reading. But more than memorizing words from lists, you learn words in real context, real need, real situations. That is stronger and more memorable than rote learning. And because you use the word soon after you learn it, your memory becomes strong. 4. Your grammar becomes usable, not perfect. Many learners worry about grammar rules, but when you think in English, you use grammar naturally. You don't need to prove that you know the rules. You just make sentences. Yes, sometimes the grammar is weak or incorrect, but your brain begins to notice patterns. You hear yourself, or you check later, and your brain corrects itself. Over time, your sentences become more accurate because they are used repeatedly. Instead of thinking, "Is this perfect?" you think, "I want to say this," and eventually your brain says it right. This is how many people learn their first language, and this is how you learn your second. 5. Your confidence grows every day. By thinking in English, you have small successes every day. I thought in English for 5 minutes. I described my breakfast in my mind. I imagined a conversation. These small steps build courage. You start to believe you can do it. You start feeling proud of your progress, and that belief pushes you forward. You become less afraid to speak with real people, because you have already spoken to someone inside your head many times before speaking out loud. 6. You feel more comfortable. When real English happens. When you meet a foreigner, speak in a class, or watch a video, it feels more comfortable because your brain has practiced real English conversations already. It doesn't feel like a test. It feels familiar. It feels like you already know what to say. This comfort comes because your mind thinks in English like speaking to someone. So real English feels like a friend, not a stranger. 7. You learn to express real feelings and ideas. Many learners struggle to express feelings. I feel sad. I am excited. I miss my family. But when you think in English like talking to someone, you practice expressing feelings and ideas in your mind. You feel these emotions in English, and when you speak to others, you can share your thoughts clearly. This is true communication. This is real English, not just words, but meaning. 8. You become independent in learning. Instead of waiting for teachers or lessons, you learn by yourself every day. Thinking in English is your personal classroom. While walking, cooking, doing homework, you talk in English in your mind. You learn from your own life. You build your English with your own thoughts and words. This independence makes learning enjoyable and powerful. Practical tips to use this habit for speaking, listening, and confidence. When you talk in your mind, record it now and then. Listen. Hear mistakes. Hear strengths. Notice what you want to improve. When you speak to someone, remind your mind. I have spoken in English many times today. I can do this. This mental reminder reduces fear. When listening to others, repeat silently what they say in English. Mirror their sentences in your mind. This connects what you hear to your thinking habit. At night, before sleep, recall your day in English. This reinforces your brain's daily habit and helps memory. Once a week, say a few sentences out loud about your week. You have already thought them. Now hear them. This shifts the habit to speech. Celebrate small wins. After a successful thought session, say, I did 5 minutes today. When you use a new word and understand it, great. I use delicious when thinking about breakfast. When you naturally spoke in English with a real person, my brain was ready. I just spoke. Over time, these small moments build big change. After a few weeks, you'll notice your thinking happens in English more often, even without trying. Your voice becomes stronger. You speak with less hesitation. You listen with more understanding. All because you practiced thinking like talking to someone. This completes section 3 of your lesson. You now know what this lesson does. It helps your brain work in English, improves your speaking, listening, vocabulary, grammar, confidence, and expresses your true thoughts. And you have clear steps to keep growing.